We are going to move on because I don't know, how you can defend that, right?
No,
so,
it's true.
yeah, we'll move on to parenting. A parent wrote to the advice columnist at Slate saying their 8-year-old is being assigned homework every night where he's expected to read for 30 minutes, then fill out a form to prove it. The parent is now worried it's making the kid dread reading. What would you do here?
I feel for this. You know what? This is a very human thing. None of us like being told what to do, the least of whom are children. And there's actually a name for this. It's called psychological reactants. This is why reverse psychology works so well. So the better mode for some teachers might be to say, whatever you do, small child, do not read for a half an hour every day. You know what I mean? There's something to that, because this idea, I see it even with Jaya. He gets told that he has to do math every day, math quizzes, and they do it by timing. And the more it stokes his anxiety.
I'm anxious
right?
for him.
Yeah. You got to stand up there, you got to do it in flashcard, whatever. And now he's losing his confidence. Now he likes math less. So I think you got to really fine tune these kinds of things for each child, depending on their personality.
We have a teacher on the panel, so we can discuss.
So here's the thing. I've seen the reading log used for many years, and I don't want to say I'm pro-reading log, but I understand a reading log. My issue with this story is, one, that the teacher was against audiobooks. When you're banning audiobooks, you're essentially restricting a child from a means that's going to actually help them better understand the text. That's my beef. Secondly, the children are still recovering emotionally from this panorama ding-dong. They
AKA
it's
pandemic?
a lot for them. Even coming back to school and being overstimulated, it's a lot for them. So I understand the log and how it works, because there is an incentive behind it. But for some kids right now, it's not necessarily the reading or the math. It's just the pressure of school in general. And that's what I'm really thinking about.
It's interesting because my daughter's school this year, we're having a debate in our house. She used to come home with homework every single night last year.
That's terrible.
And this year, she has no homework. And so my husband picked her up recently, and the teacher and the administrators, and we love our school, they said, we're actually trying something. We are actually, at least for her class, I don't know if it's the whole school, we're gonna try no homework. Maybe just for now, but it certainly sounded like this is more of a longer term thing. And I love the idea only because there's another philosophy behind it, which is the idea, and this only maybe works for her. She's got a very small class. There's a lot of one-on-one teacher attention. There's a lot of great teachers who don't have the luxury to teach the way they want because they've got a class of 30 kids. So I feel for the teachers out there. So she's lucky to have a scenario where they're doing other things. Why? Because perhaps for some, certainly for my daughter, being forced to do stuff was taking away the inherent joy that came from learning. And so they're trying something different. They're doing this thing called journaling, where any idea or thought or learning, they're encouraged to write it down. It could be math, it could be science, it could be history, it could be geography. And they work it out through the journal, and they work it out with the teacher, as opposed to, you must read 30 minutes every single night, because guess what? Piecing out too. I'm gonna piece out as a parent, the kid's gonna piece out, no one's learning. I don't know how that works.
For sure. Oh yeah. Well, my kids are now teenagers, and so they've sort of gotten over this hump. They're a little bit more self-motivated, but I hear you. The last couple of years has been a nightmare. I mean, I had to homeschool them during the pandemic, and it just involved mostly just me shouting until we all gave up.
Sounds great.
So I really feel for the teachers, and we all had homework. We all had homework. We all hated homework. I also don't mind a little bit of pressure on the kids to, make them realize that you are going to have to do something that you kind of don't want to do. Because, we are all raising our kids the opposite of the way we were raised. And in some cases, we're over-validating them. You know what I mean? Like, I've had to resort to extreme measures because I'm so positive with my kids. Like, when they were quite young, we'd watch something in the news, some horrible oppressive regime, putting down a riot of the people who were standing up. And I'd say, do you see, young tiny toddlers? Do you see? This is what happens when you don't eat your broccoli. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do. I'm just saying for a limited time, they ate broccoli. And maybe it would work. It doesn't work with all the ages. Eventually they catch on that, you're feeding the line. I'm just saying, different tactics.
Yes.
Different tactics. Maybe go with that, or maybe go with in the journaling, and we'll see what happens.
Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.